Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu suddenly hold an emergency midnight press conference. What happened? It was a little past midnight in Beijing. The streets were nearly empty, the city wrapped in the quiet hum of sleepless lights. Most of China had already gone to bed, until a sudden alert appeared on every major news feed. Hold on tight, C-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Emergency press conference, Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu to make an immediate joint statement. Within minutes, phones lit up across the country. Fans rushed online, timelines flooded, live streams crashed under the weight of millions trying to connect. No one knew what was happening, only that it had to be serious. Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu, two of China's most beloved stars, don't just appear at midnight without reason. By 12:45 a.m., the conference room at the Grand Hyatt Beijing was overflowing. Reporters scrambled for seats. Cameras buzzed with static. Outside, hundreds of fans had already gathered in the cold, some in pajamas, holding posters, some in tears. Then, the doors opened. Zhao Lusi walked in first. No makeup. No stylist. Just a simple oversized sweater and jeans, a rare, unguarded version of her. Behind her came Liu Wu, calm but visibly tense, his eyes scanning the flashing lights like a soldier walking into battle. They didn't smile. They didn't wave. They simply walked to the stage, stood behind the microphones, and faced the storm. For a long, breathless moment, nothing. Just the faint hum of the cameras and the heavy sound of expectation. Then Zhao Lusi leaned toward the microphone. Her voice, quiet but clear, broke the silence. We wouldn't be standing here tonight unless we had to. Every lens zoomed in. Every whisper stopped. Liu Wu took a deep breath, his jaw tightening. There's something we've kept private for too long, he said. But tonight, it's no longer just our burden. It's time everyone knows the truth. The press leaned forward. Some reporters exchanged wide-eyed glances. The energy in the room was electric, trembling between fear and revelation. Zhao Lusi looked at Liu briefly, then nodded. Her voice trembled as she continued. Over the past months, we've been working together quietly, not on a drama, not on a promotion, but on a legal case. A case involving the same agency that nearly destroyed my career. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. When I spoke up earlier this year, she continued, I thought it was over. I thought justice would come quickly. But what we've discovered since then is far darker than I imagined. Liu Wu's tone turned sharp. We found evidence of contract tampering, financial coercion, and surveillance, not just on her, but on other artists. They tracked movements. They threatened families. They even tried to silence people who were willing to testify. The room exploded with camera flashes. Questions flew from every corner. Who are you accusing? Do you have proof? Are the authorities involved? Zhao Lusi raised a hand gently, signaling for quiet. The authorities have the evidence now, she said. But tonight, we needed to speak before the lies spread again. Before anyone tries to twist the story or hurt someone else. Her voice broke slightly, and Liu stepped closer, not touching her, but close enough that she could draw strength from his presence. You've all seen headlines about me these past weeks, the rumors, the attacks, the fake documents. Those didn't come from strangers. They came from inside the system. Her eyes glistened under the fluorescent light. We're not here to fight the industry. We're here to fight the darkness hiding within it. A long pause followed. You could feel the gravity in every word. Then Liu Wu took out a folded piece of paper from his pocket and placed it on the table. The microphones picked up the soft rustle of the page. This, he said, is our joint statement, a declaration of full cooperation with the Ministry of Culture's investigation. From this moment forward, every artist under that agency is free from their illegal contracts. The crowd gasped. Journalists whispered in disbelief. We've spoken to lawyers. We've spoken to victims. And yes, he continued, there will be arrests. Zhao Lusi exhaled deeply, the weight of months visible in her shoulders. For too long, we let fear decide what's right. But not tonight. Not anymore. And then, she did something no one expected. She stepped down from the podium and bowed, deeply, completely, to the reporters, to the cameras, to the fans watching live. Thank you, she said, her voice cracking. For not giving up on the truth. For standing by us when we had no strength left. This fight isn't just mine, it's ours. The applause began softly, then grew into a thunderous roar. Leo joined her in a bow, his hand brushing hers for just a second, a gesture of unity, of quiet defiance. As they left the stage, the hall erupted with questions they didn't answer, because they didn't need to. The truth had already been spoken. Outside, the night air was cold, and the streets of Beijing were alive with flashing blue lights. Police cars lined the avenue, a clear sign that something massive was already in motion. Moments later, the official Weibo account of the Ministry of Culture released a statement confirming what fans had just witnessed. An active investigation has begun into multiple entertainment agencies for contract abuse, financial fraud, and intimidation of artists. We commend Ms. Zhao Lusi and Mr. Liu Wu for their cooperation and bravery. The world erupted. News outlets from Seoul to Los Angeles ran the story within hours. It wasn't just a celebrity headline anymore, it was the unraveling of one of China's biggest entertainment scandals in decades. But behind the history-making press conference, there was something deeply human happening. In the quiet backstage hallway, away from the cameras, Zhao Lusi sat on a bench, trembling. Her eyes were red, her hands cold. She had done it, she had finally spoken without fear. Liu Wu sat beside her, silent. Then, gently, he placed his jacket around her shoulders. It's over, he said softly. You did it. She looked up at him, her voice barely a whisper. No, it's just beginning. And she was right. Because from that night on, the industry would never be the same again. It was no longer about fame. No longer about power. It was about truth, raw, unpolished, unstoppable truth. And it all began with two people, standing side by side, at a microphone. In the middle of the night. The hours after Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu's midnight revelation unfolded like a storm no one could escape. By sunrise, every television in China carried the same breaking headline, Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu expose the entertainment syndicate, nationwide investigation underway. The footage replayed in loops, Zhao's trembling voice, Liu's calm defiance, the flash of truth cutting through decades of silence. On Weibo, hashtags hit 1 billion views in under 5 hours. Outside their hotel, hundreds of fans gathered holding candles, chanting softly into the dawn, justice for the artists. Inside, the two stars sat quietly in a small private room, hidden from the chaos outside. The air was thick, not just with exhaustion, but with something heavier, something that felt like both relief and loss. Zhao Lusi was still in the same sweater, her hair falling loosely over her face. Her hands, clasped together tightly, wouldn't stop shaking. Liu Wu sat opposite her, leaning forward, elbows on his knees, eyes fixed on the floor. Between them, a half-empty cup of tea had gone cold. For the first time in hours, neither of them spoke. Then Zhao finally broke the silence. Her voice was barely above a whisper. Do you think they'll really do it? Leo looked up. The arrests? She nodded. He hesitated for a moment before answering. They already have. My manager called. The ministry moved in at 4 a.m. They've frozen accounts, seized documents, and taken 3 executives into custody. Zhao's breath caught, not from shock, but from the sheer weight of hearing that word, custody. It was real now. Everything she had fought for, every sleepless night, every tear she hid from the world, it had finally reached the point of no return. She leaned back in her chair, staring at the ceiling, her eyes glistening in the pale morning light. It's over, she whispered. Leo shook his head softly. No. It's just starting. The truth always takes time to settle, and it always comes with a price. The door opened quietly, and their lawyer stepped in, her voice low, steady, but urgent. They've requested both of you at the ministry by 10 a.m. There will be statements, signatures, maybe more questioning. Are you ready? Zhao took a deep breath, looked at Leo, and nodded. We'll go together. The lawyer nodded, paused for a moment, and then added something quietly, almost hesitantly. I don't think you realize it yet, but what you two did tonight, it's changed everything. When she left, the silence returned, but it was no longer heavy. It was peaceful.